Hey, what it do, sports world? Welcome to the Real Untouchable podcast with me, Ray Diggs. I got a great segment for you all. Hey, it's the national championship. The college football playoff national championship is here. We got number 2 Washington Huskies will play the number 1 Michigan Wolverines in Monday's national championship game. That's going to be in Houston, Texas. This right here is going to be a hell of a game, y'all. And I know what y'all think. Y'all think that I'm gonna go with who I'm gonna go with, but guess what? I got a surprise. I will give my pick, my prediction tomorrow on tomorrow's show. I will let you all know who I think is gonna win. But tonight, I want to talk about why this game is more even than people think it is. Hey, listen, before I get started, make sure y'all hit the like button, the subscribe button, and also the share button. All right. And hey, make sure y'all give me your comments in the comment section. All right. But hey, let's go ahead and jump into this. Number 2, Washington. Number 1, Michigan for the national championship Monday night in Houston. These two teams will finally get it on. And then guess what? We got Michael Penix Jr. We got J.J. McCarthy. These are two of the most elite quarterbacks in college football. This is the top 2 teams in college football, and it's only right that they meet for a chance at a national championship. Washington comes in at 14-0. Michigan comes in at 14-0. You know, you got Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh, we don't know. This right here might be Jim Harbaugh's last college football game that he coaches. A lot of people think the matchmakers, they got Michigan as a 74% chance to win this national championship. They only giving Washington a 25% chance to win this game. But I'm gonna tell you all why I think that this game right here could be more closer than you all think. Michigan, yes, they beat Alabama. Alabama beat Alabama, in my opinion. I think Alabama beat Alabama. But in the end, Michigan won the game. But when I talk about Washington, right, this is a team out of the Pac-12 that love to slang it. They love to throw this ball around. Now, let's talk about, this Washington team. This Washington team has been pretty much improving and pretty much impressing me all season. They beat Arizona. They beat Oregon twice. They beat Washington State. They beat USC. They beat Utah. They beat Oregon State at Oregon State. They beat Texas. And now they will face against so when I think about this Washington team, this team right here might have played one of the hardest schedule in college football. Michigan, they played an okay schedule. The only team I can say that they really beaten was Alabama and Ohio State. But when I think about Washington, this team beat Oregon twice. They beat Oregon State once at Oregon State. They beat Washington State. They beat Utah. This team right here is battle tested. They beat Texas. This team is battle tested. This team right here is one of the most battle tested teams in college football. So when people say that Michigan is a better team, when you put these two teams on a neutral field, anything can happen. Who will I take at the quarterback position? Will it be J.J. McCarthy? Will it be Michael Penix Jr.? If I had it, I'm going to take Michael Penix Jr. and his playmakers over the Michigan Wolverines. Now, can Michigan line up and just run the ball down their throat? Hell, they just did it to Alabama, I think. And what happened when Texas actually lined up and ran it at Washington? They had a lot of success. Now, will Michigan do the same thing? They could. Michigan can, with the team that they have, with the offensive line that they have, they can line it up with those backs and run it down and basically run it down Washington's throat. Keep that offense off the field. What's the best offense? What's the best defense? The best defense is keeping that offense off the field. Because when you allow Michael Penix Jr. and those wide receivers to stay on the field, you are in big trouble. And honestly, that's what I think. You got Aduzier. You got receivers on this team that is honestly NFL talent. This Washington team, when I look at them from on the offensive side of the ball, they are one of the most explosive offenses in college football. When I look at this team, you have Adozier, Pokes, and you have McMillan. You have three NFL caliber wide receivers on this Washington team. So I think Michael Penix Jr. honestly can put this Michigan team in a predicament that they've never been in none this season. Because yes, they played against Jalen Milroe. Who's a better quarterback, Jalen Milroe or Michael Penix Jr.? Say no more. You everybody know it's Michael Penix Jr. Who's a better quarterback? What's the best quarterback that Michigan has played all season? It's Michael Penix Jr. Honestly, I feel like Michael Penix Jr. can put this Michigan team, this Michigan defense, in a predicament that they hadn't been in all year, which is to throw the ball all over the field. And I think that if they allow Michael Penix Jr. to come out here and put up numbers the way he put up against Texas, and hell, Texas got a really, really, really good defense as well. Is it Michigan's defense? I think Michigan defense may be a little bit better. But when we talk about these two teams, when we talk about Michigan and Washington, when it comes down to offensive, defensive, I just don't know if you put these two teams in a neutral site in a dome, which it would be in the dome. Can Michigan stay in front of them? Now, when I look at LA, not LA, I'm watching the Lakers game. When I look at Alabama and Michigan played on a grass field. This would be on turf. So when I put these wide receivers, Aduzier and Pope, on turf, do I feel that Michigan's cornerback can stay in front of these two? I just don't know. That's what makes this so great. That's what makes this college football national championship so great. Because you honestly don't know when you look at these two teams, they're so evenly matched. That's why when I'm looking at the matchmaker saying it's a 75% chance that Michigan win this game, I think they're overlooking this Washington's offense. Because Michael Penix Jr. is a Heisman Trophy runner-up. He can throw the ball all over the field. He just did against Texas. He was 29 for 38, 430 yards and 2 touchdowns. So he can pretty much throw the ball all over the field, and they run a up-tempo offense. And if you allow him to put points up, like I said, I don't think this is going to be a defensive game. I think this right here is going to be an offensive shootout. I honestly feel like this game right here could be just like this Washington Texas game, 37-31. Even though Washington pissed me off because they almost lost this game because they was being stupid, but they in the end they wins the game. But when I look at these two teams, they're evenly matched team. What is Michigan gonna do? Are they gonna line up? Are they gonna just run it down their throat? I think that is the more logic thing to do is to line up and run Blake Corum down these Washington throat. Because honestly, I think that if they throw it, I honestly feel, let's see, I think if they throw it, Hey man, I'm sorry about that, man. I lost internet, man. I apologize about that. But so like, let's go ahead and jump back into this. Like I said, if apologize about that, but so like, let's go ahead and jump back into this. Like I said, if so honestly, if Michigan allows Michael Penix Jr. to get comfortable in this national championship game, it can be a long day for this Michigan Wolverine defense. Because like I keep saying, they have never seen an offense like this. Like this offense right here is explosive, meaning they're averaging 30 a game. So when I look at these two teams, it's more evenly matched than people are giving Washington. Yes, Michigan have the defense. They have Graham on the defensive line. They have a really, really good secondary. But when I look at these two teams, honestly, this is an evenly matched game. And it won't surprise me if this game comes down to who have the ball last. Michigan, Washington. This is a dream national championship. And honestly, I I wanted Alabama because I'm an Alabama fan. But I'm not mad that it's Washington and Michigan because this right here could be a instant classic. This right here could be a game just like the Alabama Michigan game was. Where offenses start off slow and then later as the game goes on, it picks up. But when I look at these two teams, I honestly feel that people is not giving Washington enough respect. They're not giving Washington enough respect. Same thing against Texas. They was not giving Washington enough respect against against this Texas Longhorn team. And look what they did. They came out there, they drove the ball. The first drive, they just drove the ball down the field and pretty much put it in the end zone. It's like they wasn't even phased by the Texas Longhorn defense. And that is something that could happen in this game as well. So I'm gonna give Washington the respect since nobody else is going to do it. It won't surprise me if Washington upsets Michigan. Honestly, I think Washington might win this game. Something just telling me that Washington have the perfect team to upset this Michigan Wolverine team. But y'all let me know what y'all think, man. And like I said, I apologize again. I'm losing connection. I lost connection, but in the end, I still finished it. So hey, but thank y'all again for listening to another great segment of the Real Untouchable Podcast with me, Ray Diggs. Hey, listen, and also, like I said, make sure y'all hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the share button. And hey, make sure y'all comment and tell me what you all think about this segment. And what do you all think is going to happen on Monday night in the national championship game between number two Washington and number one Michigan? As they meet, they're going to collide. You have the Pac 12 versus the Big Ten in the national championship. This is the first time in a long time that we're not saying that we got an SEC team in the national championship. So I'm like, hey, let's go ahead and clap because I know everybody's happy. But guess what? Don't be surprised. I mean, don't get too comfortable because next year, I'm sure it may be one or even two SEC teams in the college football playoff national championship. But hey, like I said, thank you all again for listening to another great segment of the Real Untouchable Podcast with me, Ray Diggs. Hey, y'all, peace and y'all, happy New Year. Have a great, great year, y'all. Until next time, y'all have a great, great night, y'all. Peace.